Hey everybody, this is Dave Nasty with NextLevelGuitar.com, and today what we're going to do is we're going to outline this very cool G major sweep sequence. Alright, so what we're going to do to go over this pattern is first I want to talk about the motion of the right hand and initially outline the sweep arpeggio that we're going to play here up at G major. Before I forget, if you click on that link below that you see in the YouTube text box, and you would like a free video lesson that is not available on YouTube, and as well you get a free ebook that has over 21 diagram scale shapes, go ahead and click on that link below that you see in the YouTube text box. G major are the notes G, B, and D, so we're going to take this basic triad, take this chord voicing, and play this sweep sequence. Again, slowly I'll play it for you, and then we'll break it down and we'll work it up to speed. Alright, so what's really cool about this lick is we're taking some of the notes and we're arranging them into slightly different places here. So let's break it down, starting with my upstroke on my G note and hammering on with my pinky. I'm going to then switch my index finger to move up to the 12th position to grab my D note, and there I'm barring as well so I can get my G note on the 3rd string. That's giving me this motion. Now the motion of the pick is going to start with an upstroke, and then those two following notes are going to be played with a downstroke. Now my B note that is typically played here on the 2nd string, I've moved up to the 16th fret on the 3rd string. I'm playing that with an upstroke, and then I'm going to pull off and continue back down to my initial starting point, or my root note. Right, so we're just taking the initial notes G, B, and D and working it into a slightly different arrangement and sequence. That in itself is a pretty cool lick on its own. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the D note out of our chord, and that's the 5th in our chord, and we're going to put that in a slightly different location as well. Typically when we play this sweep arpeggio, you have your D located on the 10th position or the 10th fret on your high E string. We're going to now include this up on our 2nd string with our pinky, right? And that is on the 15th fret. So to play that up to that D note, it will sound just like this. Upstroke with my right hand, initiating that downstroke, and then I'm going to move my 1st finger again to cover the 12th position, and now I'm going to cover 3 notes on the 12th fret, and that's going to be my D, my G, and my B, giving me this. And then I'm going to hit my D note with my pinky, pull off as we did before from B, and go all the way back down to start the sequence. When you mix these two together, so far we have this played slowly. Right, and when you play it up to speed, right, one more time up to speed, right? So now we're going to go ahead and just play straight up and ascend through the arpeggio and descend through the arpeggio, and that's what will finalize our sequence here. And that simply is just this. So when you put the two together, and then you add that 3rd one, it gives you a really nice sequence within your G major arpeggio. Again, one more time when you play it up to speed. Now another thing that's really cool that you can do is you could slide up with your pinky to finish this sweep off, and we're going to slide up and come right back to the 15th fret and then finish off our arpeggio. So when you do that, sliding with your pinky is a really cool motion that you can do with your sweep arpeggio. You put it together. It's a nice way to go ahead and play through your sweep arpeggio, and it mixes it up a bit. So as far as going over the motion again, you just want to make sure that you have no notes that ring out over each other. You take your time and you just really gently focus on the planing motion that happens with your right hand as you go through the arpeggio. Again, not necessarily just picking each note with your downstroke, but really trying to establish a comfortable flow that can happen with your motion of your right hand. Sometimes I'll just take my arpeggios and focus one direction and make sure that I get that very clean before I even try to incorporate the entire arpeggio into my playing, because it's just a nice comfortable way to get used to, again, as I said, the motion with your right hand. So you could start very simply by going. You put that on metronome time, and you'll notice that motion with your right hand will get faster, it will play smoother, and you'll get away from just the single individual pick notes. So again, our sequence that we went over today, broken down. Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3. You put it together. Alright everybody, so if you get a minute, please, I encourage you to go to our website, nextlevelguitar.com. There are over 850 lesson segments that cover all arrangements of styles and techniques and music theory, and you can't miss out on a great opportunity to have wonderful in-home lessons. This is Dave Nassy with nextlevelguitar.com, and I appreciate you checking it out.